welcome to my channel. I'm Dani and today I have a Chanel unboxing for you. So as you can tell from the box, it is a small item. Now I did buy this from Vestia Collective and this is not going to be a true unboxing, more of a review. The thing is, when the item arrived, I didn't have time to film a whole video, but with Vestia Collective, you have 3 days to raise an issue if there's something with your purchase. So I had no choice but to unbox it earlier, and today I'm going to give you a review. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I like to take you through the purchase listing, just so that you can anticipate what's coming as well. Although I've already seen the item, I think it's still worthwhile taking you through the listing. So here it is. Yes, it is a Chanel card case. It says Chanel leather card wallet and it is listed to be in fair condition. It is made of yellow quilted lambskin with silver hardware. There's some light dirt marks all over the exterior and there's also some brown glue mark on the inside near the Made in Italy stamp, and it only comes with the box. And it's been listed since April 2022. At this stage, that is 5 months ago. For those of you who are closely following my purse piece journey, I purchased the Chanel card case in September 2022, and that was before I reached purse piece. The item is listed to be in Hong Kong, and I'm bringing this up because I have a question about this later in the video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the item. After that, I'm going to share with you like the price, and I'll give you some close-ups, my first impressions, and the story time, as well as a question for those of you who are really experienced with shopping on Vestia Collective. So there's the Chanel box that it came in. I have to say it wasn't wrapped particularly well. There was some bubble wrap put around it, but the bubble wrap was really quite deflated, and over the bubble wrap was just a plastic DHL bag. So it was supposed to only come with the box, and here is the box. It is slightly damaged there, but it's not so much of a big deal to me. And there's a tag to say that it was checked by Vestia Collective, and it says please only remove label when satisfied with your item's quality, but this was not attached anyway and I have that on camera. And there is a black felt wrapping over here. I'm probably not going to store the wallet with this piece of felt because I understand that that can cause color transfer, but yeah. So there you go, there's the item. So here is my Chanel card case. It is in yellow lambskin with silver hardware. I think it is pretty cute. Alright, and then the inside, so it looks like on the inside, and it's pretty clean on the inside, and there is the date code on the inside there. So the listing mentioned some glue, and that's it over there. Over here you can see a little bit of glue as well that has leaked. So I have to say, when I first unboxed this item, I did notice somewhere that I thought was not in the pictures. So although the sides of the wallet was pictured, I felt that it did not really capture the wear and tear on the corner of the wallet and on the other side as well. And even here there's wear and tear on the corners of the flap, and on the top part of the flap there is this stain here that I felt was not pictured particularly well. Anyway, it was listed in fair condition and I think it complies with that description. So I was actually influenced to buy this item, and it was Yenny MC's unboxing video of her Chanel boy card case. I actually have not been very drawn to the Chanel card cases because of their prices, number one, and I kind of thought for the price that they go for, it's, you know, quite a basic card case, but Yenny's boy card case was so beautiful and I was really drawn to it when I saw it in detail. Now with Chanel, I don't buy anything new now because the prices are absolutely crazy. I usually look on the pre-loved market. So I did first start by looking on the pre-loved market on Vestia Collective. Okay, so although I was looking for a Chanel boy card case, it was this listing that drew me to it. Firstly because the color is so gorgeous. It is like bright yellow and I love having a yellow or bright colored SLG in a bag. It makes it really easy to find. And the good thing about having a colorful SLG is that you don't have to match it with your outfit of the day. The other thing that drew me to this listing was the price. It was listed for 400 Australian dollars, and that's a really good price for a Chanel card case. I find these card cases really hold their value on the pre-loved market. I think the cheapest I've ever seen listed was probably around 700 Australian dollars, and that price is so not worth it because when you buy on Vestia, you still got to pay for delivery, you got to pay for authentication. And when the retail price is like 850 Australian dollars, it really doesn't make purchasing this item pre-loved worth it at all. This purchase really goes against the grain for me. I always feel that SLGs endure a lot of wear and tear because they have to put up with a lot of friction inside a larger bag against other items. So lambskin wouldn't necessarily have been my first choice, but as I said, the price really drew me to it, and I felt that this was a good opportunity for me to try out Chanel lambskin. And I have to say, I'm actually really impressed. It's so lightweight, because lambskin is known to be very light, and it just feels really lightweight and really soft. Yeah, so, and since I feel this card case has really lived like a whole life, I felt like I'd be happy to just put a bit more wear and tear into it. Now, I've talked about on my channel in the past how certain wear and tear on an item is really not obvious from pictures, and one of it is whether the snap button is loose. That happened with my Chanel wallet on chain. So I did ask the seller how the button was, and she said no, it's still quite stiff. I would agree with her. I could probably still put quite a bit of cards into this one, and I'm not going to be so worried that it's going to pop open. So I'm quite pleased with the button. Now, I did also message the seller to see if she was open to offers, because of course, sure, the price was good, but if we can get a better deal, why not, right? I did share the listing with some of my friends here on YouTube, and some of you did feedback to say, yeah, see if you can get it for 300. It would be a really, really good deal in that case. Anyway, the seller did respond to say that they weren't open to offers, so I almost committed to buying the item when I suddenly noticed that although the seller is in Australia, the item was actually in Hong Kong. I was actually a little bit confused about that, because you know, I would always preference to purchase from an Australian seller, because it means that I can then select direct shipping and I wouldn't have to pay taxes and duties. So that would really bring down the cost of the item. And at that time, I was happier to pay the listed price of 400 Australian dollars. But given that it was in Hong Kong, it actually meant that I probably have to pay authentication fees, as well as import duties, as well as international delivery fees, which would significantly bring up the price of the item. So I did message the seller to say, how come you're based in Australia but the item is in Hong Kong? Can you please confirm this? But they didn't respond. So according to my calculations, if the item was located in Australia, I would usually select direct shipping, which would be 9 Australian dollars, and then I would get it independently authenticated by Luxury Authentication Australia, which would be 35 Australian dollars, and that means I would pay 444 Australian dollars for this item. But if the item was going to be from Hong Kong, according to my previous experience shopping on Vestiaire, it would be 29 Australian dollars for shipping and $25 for Vestiaire Collective Authentication, plus 15% of taxes and duties off the price of the item, and that would come up to 514 Australian dollars. By then, I had also gotten a quote to spa this wallet by Royal Bag Spa, and the quote was 120 to 180 Australian dollars to spa this item. And with the cost of the spa in mind, I wasn't willing to pay 514 Australian dollars, because that would just bring it too close to the retail price. So I didn't go for the item initially. But the next day, I actually got notification from Vestiaire Collective that the seller had dropped the price from 400 Australian dollars to 340 Australian dollars. And on top of that, Vestiaire was running a 10% off. So according to my calculations, that would bring down the price of this item to about 406 Australian dollars, and that was very close to what I was willing to pay, so I went for it. But there was something unexpected. So when I checked out, instead of being charged international shipping fees of $29, I got charged $9 for local shipping fees. So that confused me a lot. So what ended up happening was the item actually was sent to Vestiaire Collective in Hong Kong for checking, because when I got the parcel, I can see that it came from Hong Kong. So I'm not sure why I was charged local delivery fees. Obviously a bonus, so I'm not going to complain. And because of that, I actually got this for about 390 Australian dollars. So for those of you who are veterans shopping on Vestiaire Collective, can you please enlighten me? How come the seller was in Australia but the item is in Hong Kong? I did get charged import taxes and duties, which is typical if the item is coming from an international location. But then how come I got charged only local shipping fees? So at some stage, I'm gonna start using her and we'll just see how she goes. And when I put a bit more wear and tear into her, I might send her off for a spa. And now I'm going to overlay some mod shots. If you're interested in another very successful Chanel unboxing, go ahead and click over here.